Hi there family, welcome to part 7 of our how-to video. In this section, I'm going to discuss with you how we can use OBS Studio to go live on Facebook. I'm going to show you how we can link OBS Studio to Facebook and how we can use Facebook to do a test stream to make sure that all of our settings are right, and then how we can also use Facebook to obviously go live and end our live stream. So to get started, the first thing we need to do is to make sure that we've got OBS Studio open on our computer as well as Video Som, because we're going to be doing a test run first. So I've opened up Video Som. You can see I'm in projector mode and I've chosen to project the Christ's Heartbeat logo. I would recommend getting a logo of your church or a nice welcome graphic of some sort to display through Video Som before starting your live stream as well as before starting your service, because it's just nice for the people to be able to see. Remember, whatever is being projected through Video Som is being seen in your church as well as on Facebook Live, because if we go to OBS Studio, you can now see the Christ's Heartbeat logo here. What we're seeing here is effectively what should be on our screens at church, because that's what Video Som is outputting. And what we see here is exactly what Facebook is going to be seeing. And what we hear here based on audio input and audio output is exactly what Facebook is going to see. So if I go back to Video Som as an example and run a video, you will see the video will appear here. It'll obviously also appear on our projectors in our church. It'll appear in OBS Studio, and because it's appearing in OBS Studio, when we go live on Facebook, it'll appear there as well. Okay, so just as an example, I'm going to play back this video over here, and you can see it's appearing in our preview panel. And because we're in presentation mode, it means what's going on here is being seen by our audience on our church's projectors. Now, if we go across to OBS Studio, you can see once again the video is appearing here, because our OBS Studio is capturing our video display. It's capturing what Video Som is outputting to our projectors, and whatever is going on here is what our Facebook audience will be seeing once we've connected OBS to Facebook. And you can see with the audio input capture, as well as I'm speaking, as the video is playing back, it's also jumping up and down because OBS Studio is receiving the necessary signals, and this audio is what OBS Studio is going to send across to Facebook once we've got the two linked up. So I'm just going to open up the Christ's Heartbeat logo again in Video Som, and if we go back to OBS, once again you can see it's over here because it's capturing the output from Video Som. So now that we see that the video and the audio are correctly linked, we're ready to go live. So to do that, we're going to go to the settings here in OBS Studio, and once it's pulled up, we're going to go to the Stream tab. Now you see the stream key here is still there by default from the previous stream that we did. However, every time you do a new Facebook live stream, we need a new stream key. So click in this area here, hold in Control on your keyboard and tap the A button once. You will see it selects everything and then hit backspace to make sure that that stream key field is empty, because we don't want anything in there right now. Next thing we're going to do is click on Get Stream Key. And this will open up our browser and it'll open up Facebook Live Producer page. If you're not logged into Facebook, once again, you'll need to log in and then it'll open up this page. So we're now back at this page, and I know that this page can be intimidating. There's a lot going on it. However, what we need for this is relatively simple. So first things first, we're going to be doing a test stream to make sure that everything's working and running smoothly on our live stream system. So what we need to do is, you can see here on the left-hand side, it's logged in on my personal profile and it says where to post. It says post to timeline. We obviously don't want to post the video to our personal timeline. We want to post the video to our ministry's Facebook page. So we're going to click on this little down thing here, and we're going to say post to a page that you manage, and then it'll give you all of your pages, and you're going to click on your ministry's page. However, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to click on the CHMI test page because I don't want everybody to see what's going on when we go live for this video. So once you've clicked on your page, it'll refresh the page and you'll see it'll then say your page name here. Next thing we need to worry about is, because we're doing a test stream, we need to browse down here on the left hand side to where it says publish as a test broadcast, and we need to tick that little box there and it'll once again refresh the page. The reason we're doing this is because we're going to first do the test stream to make sure that all of our settings are working well and working correct. And when we do a test stream like this, it stops everybody on our page from seeing the live stream, but only the admins like ourselves. So it allows us to monitor what we need to monitor without allowing everybody else to see it. So once we've done that and the page is refreshed, just enter a random title. I just like to say test and a random description, 1, 2, 3. So we're now set up and ready to go for our test. However, the start test button won't allow us to. As you can see there, it says waiting for live video, and here it says connect streaming software to go live. So we are now ready on the Facebook side. So what we need to do in order to link OBS Studio up to this for our video and our audio, where it says stream key here, once again, we need to click on copy. Only once you've changed all of these settings do you copy the stream key, because every time you change a setting here, the stream key is going to change. So we click copy, we go back to OBS Studio, we click in the stream key area there, we right click and we paste. And now we've got a new stream key, we click apply, okay. Now we are ready to go. Facebook and OBS Studio are now going to be able to speak to each other. And as I said, everything that we see here and everything that we hear here is exactly what Facebook is going to see and hear. So now that it's all linked, now that we're all ready to go, we're going to click start streaming in OBS Studio. And as you can see, it also says recording. Now, the reason it does this is because we clicked that little box that said start recording when we stream. So now these two are working together. Now at the bottom there, you can see that we've been live and we're recording for the exact same amount of time. And it's also telling us our CPU usage, our frames per second, and that KBS area is our upload speed. And it's also telling us that it's green. When that light is green, it means everything is good. So if that light is green and it stays green, you're safe. But if you see it starts going yellow or red, then that means your KBS upload speed is too high. Now, the nice thing is, if you notice that there's a dip, we can change the settings while we are live. So if it's too high, if it starts going red, all you do is click settings, you go to output, and you change your video bitrate to something a little bit lower. And you click apply, okay, and you will see there the KBS will go right down, and that is because it's auto adjusting or correcting according to the settings that we've changed. So we can see it's all going. So technically we've started streaming on OBS Studio. However, we are not yet streaming on Facebook because we have not yet clicked go live on Facebook. So once we're set up and ready to go here, and we can see that this has remained okay and that our CPU usage isn't anything above 75-80%, then we can go to Facebook here. So you can see now that the start test tab is blue, and you can see our video capture over here. So we're now ready to start. So click start test and it'll start loading a little bit. Just give it a couple of seconds. It's basically going live now on Facebook. So because we're doing a test, it says end test broadcast. The second you see that, you know you're live. Now, the beautiful thing about this Facebook Live producer is it gives you your stream metrics, which shows you your upload speed, your frames per second, and your audio upload speed. And it's important to keep an eye on this every now and then. As you can see on my side, it's nice and consistent, and it's going pretty straightforward. But you will notice that if your internet is taking a bit of a dip, you will see that it'll start showing red areas, or it'll start showing dips in your MBS or your frames per second. The second you see that, you know that your settings for your upload speed are too high. So you can then once again go to OBS Studio, go to settings, go to output, and simply change your video bitrate while you're going. Now you can see it's going to drop here on the metrics because I've just changed it. Just give it a second to refresh, and there we go. So we are now technically live on Facebook, and we're doing a test stream. And like I said, the purpose of this test stream is to make sure that everything is running smoothly here. Now, the nice thing is, if you've got your cell phone with you or something like that, as the admin of the page, you can actually go onto the page and watch the test stream and listen to the test stream to make sure that everything sounds good and looks good and all those kinds of things. As I said, once again, we can see what's going on here, everything that's going on here. So now, just as an example, I'm going to go back into Video Psalm and I'm going to play the video. We can see that it's playing. We can hear that it's playing.
Hi there, family. Welcome to
This is just a sample from our Resurrection Sunday message. Yeah. As you can see in OBS, it's playing here. The sound is playing, so the audio and video there. Now, if you look on Facebook, at the bottom, in this little tab down there, you can see a preview of what's going on the video. Now, please take note that the video on Facebook is sometimes delayed. What we're seeing on Facebook is at least about 30 seconds difference between what's going on Facebook and OBS, sometimes more, sometimes less. It's not a major thing, just be mindful of it. But once again, because we're doing a test stream, you can see our stream metrics are consistent. We're not losing any frames. We're not getting red areas, which means that we've successfully discovered a suitable setting for our live stream. And obviously, like I said, we can go and listen to it on our phones or something like that to make sure that it looks good and sounds good, because at the end of the day, that's what we need, because if we don't have that, we're going to have some very frustrated Facebook Live viewers. So now that I've tested everything, we've tested it for a minute or so, maybe a little bit more, about 3 minutes. Now we're going to end the test broadcast, and we're now officially ready to go live. So I'm going to click end, and the second you do that, it'll automatically post your broadcast to Facebook and publish the video. Once again, because we've done a test, it'll obviously be there as a test only for the admins to see. So we've done a test stream, we've seen everything, it worked correctly, we've checked it on our phones or checked it on our computers, and we can see that it was all working fine. So just as an example, I'm going to click on View Post, and it'll start loading a little bit. And here is our video. A couple of seconds, it's basically going live now on Facebook. So because we're now you can see it's going to. So right now I'm just testing it to make sure that it looks good, to make sure that it sounds good. So we can see from the test stream that it all looks good, that it all sounds good. So we're good, we're happy, now we're ready to go live. I'd recommend doing all of this just a little bit before your service, maybe half an hour before your service, just to make sure that everything is done. So once we've finished going live, there you can see we're still in OBS Studio, have the stop streaming and stop recording. We need to stop that, otherwise it just keeps recording and keeps uploading. So we've successfully completed a test stream, and we see that everything was working fine. Now we are ready to go live. So to do live, once again, we're going to click on Settings. We're going to go to Stream. We're going to click on Stream key, Control A, backspace to make sure that it's empty. And we're going to say Get Stream Key, and it'll open up Facebook Live Producer for us again. Now, the difference between going live and doing a test stream is very little. So once again, change Post to Timeline, Post to Page you manage, and you choose your page, and it'll refresh your page. Now, remember when it refreshed earlier, we went and changed it at the bottom here to publish as a test broadcast. To go live, we're not going to do that. We're going to leave it as a normal thing, and we're going to give it a title. Once again, test 1, 2, 3. This is obviously on our CHMI test page, so there's not people who like it or anything like that, but we're literally going to go live. You can see here at the bottom, it no longer says start test, it says go live, which means you're literally going live. Okay, so we've now got everything ready here. We're going to click copy stream key. We're going to go back to OBS Studio, and we're going to paste our stream key, apply. Okay, now we're ready to go live. So your church service is just about to start. It's 2 minutes to the time that your church service is going to start, or even a minute before, and you're going to go to click, same as earlier, we're going to click start streaming on OBS to connect OBS to Facebook, and we're rolling, but we're not yet live. Remember, we need to go back to Facebook, and now you can see it says go live over there. You can see our video and all of that. So the second it gets to 9 o'clock or whenever your service is going to start, you just simply click go live, and voila, your service is now live. And what the people are seeing is what OBS is getting out of Video Psalm. You can see once again our stream metrics, and you can see here it says live, so you know that you're actually going live. So then you basically, once you're live here, you can now go to Video Psalm and use your agenda to run your service. So you've got this, your service is now started, and you can now start your countdown timer. and obviously run your service from beginning to end using the agenda. And while, there's gaps or breaks or stuff like that, it helps to sometimes just go to OBS Studio to check that everything is right here, to check that this is okay. It helps to go into Facebook to check that the stream metrics are okay, that you're not skipping any frames or that you're not uploading anymore. It just helps. So for instance, once the message is started and the person is preaching, and the person operating video SOM doesn't need to do much, then they can obviously go and check all of these things out in between the scriptures and all those kinds of things. And you'll basically then just run your entire service like this from beginning to end using video SOM and checking in on Facebook and OBS every now and then, but they're relatively low maintenance, so you can pretty much leave them and just run your service from video SOM however you need to run it. And then it's now time for your service to finish. So once again, I'd recommend having a nice graphic of some sort, an exit graphic for video SOM, or simply just your logo like this. So you go to your logo and you basically now go to, this is now to end your live stream. You go back to Facebook. It's time to finish. You simply just click end live video and you say end. And the second you click it, it posts your live video to your Facebook page so that there's a replay of it. So we've now finished our live stream, but we must remember OBS Studio is still busy. So we click on OBS and we say stop streaming. And the second we say stop streaming, it stops recording as well. And there you have it. We've now gone live and ended our live stream, and we've saved our recording to our computer as well. So it's all there from beginning to end. You've run your agenda, you've run your church service, and basically every time you do a new live stream, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go to settings, and just to run through it again, you're going to go to stream, you're going to clear your stream key, you're going to get a new stream key by opening Facebook. By changing it to post to page you manage. By putting in your title and your description. By copying stream key. By pasting it. By saying apply, okay, start stream, and go live on Facebook. And there you have it. That's how you go live. And then obviously to end live, you just end live on Facebook and you end live here in OBS Studio. And then you can close the program and you can close video SOM because your church service is finished and you no longer need the projectors. And there you have it. That's how you go live and end live. In the next section of this video, we're going to do a short demonstration of how a service looks and how to run it from beginning to end with OBS, with Facebook Live, and with video SOM. Thank you.